So, is Celebrity Big Brother 2011 scripted? Now, from the very beginning, we saw mysterious tweets from the likes of Nick Bateman speculating on this apparent scripting policy, and of course last night Emma Willis and the Bit on the Side team had a little cheeky pop, if you like, at the Digital Spy Forum members and people who I think they were trying to call, well, let's use the word gullible. They were trying to say that, you know, do you really believe it's scripted? Do you think that we're actually here writing it? Are we leaving the house after a few hours and then, you know, preparing for the next day? Or thoughts on this? I mean, my take on the scripted thing. Well, let's hear from you first. I mean, do you think it was scripted at any point?
Not in the slightest. I'm sure. No. I mean, look at who you've got in there. Paddy, Jedward and Amy combined IQ-wise, I'm sure they probably couldn't remember two lines off the back of a Weetabix box if you made them. You know, no offense to them, but no, I don't think it's scripted.
Yes, I would actually echo those thoughts. I don't think it's so much possible to actually word for word script it. Of course, that would be an impossible task, next to impossible anyway. But I would look at it like this. If I was going to pay a celebrity or somebody who, you know, pretends to be one, and they were possibly getting £40,000, maybe some are up on the £70,000-80,000 price bracket, I would want them to earn their keep. If I was going to let them stay in a house for 3 weeks, give them all this promotion, put the cameras on them, so I would think that you would at least give them some guidelines.
Feeders, maybe.
Yeah. And I think it's been said back to the earlier series that, you know, people have been given guidelines to kind of go, well, play up to your character. You know, if you're going to be this way, then be that way times 10, magnify
Jedward
it. Jedward, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure Amy to a certain extent as well. Well, I'm sure with her they just said be yourself, go for it, kid, knock yourself out. You'd wonder when it comes to diary room stuff if they're subliminally saying it to them, you know, in a way that would make them think, you know, I should go back in there and be Amy Childs or whatever. You know, if anything, I'd say that's probably the most you're going to get. Or like you said beforehand, just give them those feeders to go on.
You've got to give them something, and like I say, if I was going to pay out all that money, I would definitely say, look, if there's an argument, for God's sake, make it last 5 minutes, because that'll be a fifth of our show. You know, make sure you play it all up as much as possible. And I think they certainly are following guidelines, because, you know, thinking of a moment like, it seems too quick that someone like Sally would just tear into Pamela. But of course, Pamela is an actor. She's been in films. She's been in various things. So immediately you're suspicious. When there's actually actors involved, that does again point you in that direction. But I know Bit on the Side thinks people who think it's scripted are gullible. Again, why I wouldn't think it? Because I actually wouldn't give anyone that amount of credit that they could script something that's going to be in that format, you know.
I think, yeah, like you said, with the actors and stuff, it definitely does play a big part. And somebody, all it takes, as we know, is one housemate to turn things completely upside down. How many times have we seen it in the past where literally you can change the direction and take it down a completely different street of the show and what's going on and the atmosphere in the house. Even last night we saw with the, again, when they went on the cleaning spree, I mean, the mood of the house just completely dipped down until people take it upon themselves to have weddings or to talk to the cameras and be open about stuff, or just to, I'm sure it's as well, you'd go insane if everybody used to be Rosie in the garden 24/7 literally. You know, you need excitement, and most of those people I'm sure have seen it in the past, and they know what works and they know what gets them, more importantly, into the papers and into the headlines. So unless you're completely brain dead, then you would be a fool probably to sit back and just put on a smiley face for the whole duration of your time in the house.
That's right. You know, as I say, the idea of having to tell them you must do this at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, you've got to get in an argument on a Thursday. Like I say, basic guidelines have to exist. They can't make out that they've been told nothing. You know, how could you give a guy like a Bobby 20 grand to go in and sit there and not tell him, well, look, what can you do for us? You know, what can you bring to this to make it talked about? He said, well, I don't really want to shoot on people direct to their face. Maybe I'll just say it to myself when I'm lying in bed at night, and maybe that'll count. But you know, they're probably, as you say, very protective as well of their celebrity identity. So I would think, if anything, the next guinea pig bunch of housemates, the normal people, if you like, that are going to go in for Series 12, that's going to be the real test of, is it scripted or not? Maybe you might not say to a Pamela, you know, Hasselhoff, look, we want you to do this, but you would say it to the guy, you know, the guy who's been desperate to get in, etc., and that would do anything to be there.
Yeah. How high do you want me to jump, sir?
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's certainly something they're going to have trouble with. But I think it was just that rumour, really, that was damaging when it came out, and it was just a rumour. So I think, in theory, it's not scripted. And I think they really do think everyone believes that. You know, we're all as gullible as the guy from The Only Way is Essex. We're not really. We're not all that bad either. You know, I would reckon half the people in the room now, maybe all of them, are, you know, just dedicated loyal fans who are interested in seeing part of this show brought back. Now, there are a lot of comments in the room talking about Channel 5.
Well, some interesting topics there, certainly about the wedding, if you can catch that from that user there, Love for Rob, is that what the name is?
That's right, Love for Rob. This was this whole idea that the wedding was reshot.
Yeah, this is stuff, you know, if you could call in, and we'd love to discuss, because you know, there are many takes on this, and it would be great to hear in detail your thoughts on that. So, you know, if you want to Skype in, Big Brother Bytes Back is the Skype username. It is free to use, and you don't have to appear on video. Anybody, you know, do call in. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely, we're open for that, and not to worry. It's just literally us talking to you about what we've talked about, and you know, no ceremony, if you like, just literally your thoughts on any part of Big Brother, be it the live feed, be it the show, maybe something we've said that you either agree, disagree with. It's all about your feedback, but perhaps for the first time we're on, maybe you want to just check out what we do here. Maybe you might wait till next time. That's cool as well. But that Skype username is Big Brother Bytes Back. Also, you can get us via Twitter at Big Brother Bytes, so we will try and keep you informed if we're ever on, when we're on, etc. As we said earlier, this is more or less experimental. A social experiment here is what we're trying to...
And we're the guinea pigs, unfortunately.
We're the guinea pigs, but hopefully it'll be for a just cause, and that of course would be that reinstatement of the live feed. Now, it's one of our causes, but I think the other thing would be to support the show as well. I think there has to be a balance. There has to be a little bit of support for it as well, because of course we love the format, we love the idea. It's just these little things that are a problem. Well, people mentioned about this wedding. Apparently somebody said they saw a video, and then later on it looked to be different in the video, and that there was a theory that it could have been reshot. It's of course possible. Yeah,
it's strange, that user there in the chat room saying that at first it was just Amy and was it John? Was that got right, or was it Edward? I think it was John.
That's another one, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that when we need to. But whichever one of the two, that it was just the two of them in the garden, and then later reshot with the whole bunch of housemates inside the house. So, you know, I don't know much on that whole story, but it would definitely be good to clear it up and get some more insight into it, because it is quite interesting if that is the case.
Absolutely, let's get to more of your comments. Unhappy Big Brother fan C5 can shove their social media and their version of BB. Apparently they blocked that forum member. Emmett said, will this be available for download later? The live stream will be played out all night and all day from this point forward, and you can catch that obviously here at livestream.com/BigBrotherBytesBack. Also, we will be uploading 15-minute highlights, lowlights, whatever you want to call them, to youtube.com/BigBrotherBytesBack. We're also hopefully at some point going to get Skypers, and you can indeed be part of that now, next week, whenever. So that's more or less the ways that we're going to try and put this out. It's not a podcast, it's a blog, isn't it?
Yeah, a social blog. And you know what will be cool for all those people who are sad about the lack of a live feed? If you've enjoyed this any bit so far, once we do enough of these, this will run on a 24/7 live feed stream, so you'll be able to, as an alternative, watch us two clowns give our thoughts on a daily basis anytime you wish.
Absolutely, we'll be here, and we will certainly try and be around for that summer series as well. I keep calling it the summer series, but Big